Are you only using Google as your primary marketing channel? Well, if you're doing so, that's pretty much a risky proposition to do for your clinic, especially on a long term basis. And I'm not really talking about putting all your eggs in one basket and the risks that come with that. There's another risk that's associated with advertising on Google. So stay tuned to learn more. Hi, if you are coming to my channel for the first time, my name is Era Abraham, and I'm an individual with lived experience with hearing loss. And I also started a company targeting people with hearing loss, particularly developing a application that allows people to know what exactly is calling for their immediate attention in the environment that they're in. And in all these years, I've been practicing the art of marketing to individuals with hearing loss. And this is what this channel is about, to share my findings and learnings with you. People who are choosing the path of relying only on Google to advertise and promote or bring awareness to their clinic is really going to experience some hardship over a long period of time. Well, there are many reasons that we need to think about when it comes to just relying on Google alone. There's a few factors that I want to talk about in this channel. The, I can understand why you want to choose Google. Google is probably the best platform when it comes to searching online. It has the largest search volume, more than any other platform, including ChatGPT and any other AI recommendation or AI search engine. They also have majority market share, and most likely the people that you're targeting, particularly individuals who are older adults, they're still using Google to search. And the other benefits for Google is that it has a lot of the intent can vary. There also could be people search whether they're ready to buy or they're searching for information. And all of that really adds a huge bonus to why you need to continue to use just Google. Because I'm not exactly saying that you should stop using Google. What I am saying is that there needs to be other factors to keep in mind if Google is your only marketing channel. But here's where it gets really interesting. While we want to use Google, we have to realize putting all our effort on Google is more challenging over a long period of time. And the reason why it's more challenging is because we have to realize that Google is also evolving. While Google generates most of its revenue as a business from ads alone, they are also trying to compete in the new age of AI. Putting all your faith on Google is probably not the best strategy. And here's the reason why. Well, the only 1% of people are looking at ads that they see on Google, which makes it very small, especially when you're dealing with terminologies or search terms in the hearing care space. By and large, the volume is already low. Try looking at the average search for terminologies like people buying hearing aids, and you're not going to see a lot of people. But when it comes to informational search, there's plenty of keywords and topics to target. The other thing that we have to keep in mind is that I've noticed when it comes to searching that we're starting to see this AI overview more and more to this day. And these AI overviews are taking up the space where individuals would have clicked on the top three. Now, I say top three because for every search term, 70% of that traffic would go to one of the top three results in a Google search term. So, what does that mean for people like yourself if you're not one of the top three? Well, you have a lot less of a chance of people clicking. And on top of that, when you have a low search volume, you may only see trickle a number of people actually going into your website And then you have to try to convert them to you book an appointment with you and at your clinic. And so all of this really reduces the number of people who possibly bring in as clients. What I think is really important for us is to have another sort of strategy under all of these circumstances. You do not want to be focusing only on Google if that's what you're doing currently today. So what are the other ways that you, as an entrepreneur or is owner of a hearing clinic, how can you really maximize your opportunity? Now, we have to go back to individuals with hearing loss and exactly what are they expecting as they're going through their hearing journey. And I've come up with 4 ways that we really need to think about shifting from a strategy of only focusing on Google to thinking about multiple ways that we can maximize and generate more traffic to your business. And here are my 4 ways. The first one is get really clear on how to generate attention. Attention is very difficult in this day and age. There's so many things fighting for our attention, especially on social media. We're competing not just on Google, but we're competing with other platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and a number of other ways. But we're also challenged with getting the attention of the people around us, whether that's your child who's needing some assistance, or it could be your family members or friends that are trying to get your attention. And with all of that, it makes it really difficult in this period of our generation to really know how to capture attention under all of the other distractions. So the really important thing in that every hearing clinic needs to know is how do I capture attention? Those 5, whether it's 3 seconds or 15 seconds, how do I get their people to take off what they're doing and focus on me? And if you can do that, you have mastered the very first step into capturing leads towards your business. The second thing that I think is very important for a strategy that every hearing clinic needs to be keeping in mind, and that is differentiation. Because so many of us have prioritized on Google Ads, but when you start to land on the website, all of the copies are pretty much the same. The messaging is pretty much the same. I don't know why I need to be picking your clinic over somebody else a couple of blocks away. Google has now, particularly when somebody is searching for a hearing clinic in their area, they're going to show them specific clinics within a certain radius. This is a good way that you can test to see. Test searching hearing clinic in your neighborhood, where you live, where your home is, and then check and see what are the results that are appearing at your workplace. Now, you're going to see vastly different results. And that's because Google really wants to tailor within walking distance or within a certain reasonable distance results of businesses. Realizing that not everybody going to see your result. A person who's looking at a few clinics within a certain area, they're going to want to know, why should I pick you over the other person down the street? And this is where differentiation comes in. And differentiation isn't all about the copy and your messaging. It's what you and your staff do that is really uniquely different, or where you have the most leverage. Often that leverage comes in the form of expertise in a specific domain under the umbrella of hearing care. If you can start to develop those expertise, and this comes through repetition and practice, what can you do for that individual with a hearing loss, or that individual who's experiencing hearing challenges? How can you really help them become better at getting their result that they want to achieve? Whether that is to be able to hear clearly, or to hear effortlessly in certain situations, whether it's workplace or in social situation, or it could simply mean limiting the pain of certain hearing challenges that they don't want to experience anymore. But if you can really master and be able to articulate that using testimonials and other people talking about that, that's where you're going to have the most success. The third thing the businesses need to be thinking about is building reputation. And reputation is built through expertise, as we talked about earlier, but it's also built through how other people perceive you. So you want to start to get people to talk about your business as often as possible. Because the more people talk, the more people perceive that there is something of relevance to this business, if it's in top of mind, versus another clinic down the street who may not be top of mind and relying on people searching on Google at the last minute for a hearing aid who does not know anything about this business because they're not going to be the one chosen. It's the one that is most talked about within the community that gets chosen, even if the other company has exceller service, because nobody is talking about that excellent service. Really prioritize on reputation. And lastly, think about diversifying your channel. So this is where we need to get broad in terms of what channels other than Google can we leverage and use? Where are people hanging out that we can actually target? Now there's a variety of platforms that exist that would be beneficial for your clinic, but it's a matter of where you're spending your time. Now, the benefit of AI these days is that it can take a one piece of content and make it accessible to various platforms. So you don't really need the extra work and time to build content for different platforms. AI can help you with that at least 80% of the way, and then you can sort of fine tune it to make sure that it's correct and aligned with your brand, your messaging, and your target audiences. So, with that, those four things, if you continuously to implement all of these areas, you'll definitely make a headway and you'll have a nice steady footing when it comes to marketing. Not relying on Google is probably going to be your best effort to start really looking at other ways that you can help advance your marketing strategy outside of Google. So, with that, thank you very much for listening. And if you want to watch more, please definitely stay tuned and watch some of my other videos.